The Oneida Nation Business Committee is condemning contracts made between a tribally owned business and ICE to build detention facilities. The committee is saying in a release today that it learned of these contracts 2 days ago. One of the companies involved in those contracts is a subsidiary of the tribally owned Oneida Engineering Science Construction Group. Committee and OESC leaders met to discuss the nation's values and the consequences of the tribe being associated with ICE, with the committee now adopting a resolution requiring all tribal entities to disengage from any grants, agreements, or contracts involving ICE.